Hello and welcome. You're watching Today in Parliament with me, Aishwarya Kapoor, and here are the headlines. Newly elected members of Rajya Sabha to take oath. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu to administer the oath. Discussion on alleged banking irregularities slated in both houses. Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill, State Banks Repeal and Amendment Bill and Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill to be moved in the Rajya Sabha. Discussion on working of a Drinking Water and Sanitation Ministry. A. Navneet Krishnan to initiate discussion. Member of other parties to also present their views. And Health Minister J.P. Nadda to move a National Medical Commission Bill 2017 in the lower house. Bill seeks to set up the National Medical Commission. Newly elected members of the Rajya Sabha will take oath today. 59 members were elected to the upper house in a recently concluded biennial elections to 58 seats and by poll to 1. Members from Odisha and Rajasthan, however, will take oath tomorrow. Also, a discussion on banking irregularities is slated in the Rajya Sabha today. A short duration discussion is slated on reported scams in some public sector banks and the alleged failure of the banking regulators to check them. Harivansh, Rupa Ganguly and R.K. Sinha will initiate the discussion in the upper house. The issue has been on the list of the business of the Rajya Sabha since 7th of March. And in the Lok Sabha too, discussion on banking irregularities is slated to be raised by N.K. Premachandran of the Revolutionary Socialist Party and K.C. Venugopal of the Congress Party. The leaders will raise the issue of alleged systemic irregularities in the banking sector over the years and its impact on the Indian economy. The discussion will be held under Rule 193 that does not entail voting. The issue has been on the business of the lower house since 6th of March. And in the upper house today, discussion on the working of ministries will take place today. AIADMK MP A. Navneet Krishnan is slated to initiate a discussion on the working of the Drinking Water and Sanitation Ministry. The members will put forth their views on the functioning of the ministry during the debate, and at the end of the debate, Union Minister Uma Bharti will be giving a reply. My colleague Kriti Mishra is now joining us live from Parliament. Kriti, newly elected members are slated to take oath today. The elections were held for 59 seats recently. But, there are several key issues also that need to be discussed during the budget session. What all can we expect in the House today?
Well, Aishwarya, we saw there was a brief interlude to logjam in the Rajya Sabha when during International Women's Day, and also when External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj made a statement in the House on the killing of 39 Indians in Iraq, and also when the House accorded farewell to the retiring members. Today also there's an understanding that the House will be allowed to function so that the oath could be administered to newly elected members. So there are around 42 newly elected members from 12 states who are expected to take oath or affirm allegiance to Constitution today. So there are cabinet ministers like Arun Jaitley, like Dharmendra Pradhan, Mansukh Lal Mandavia. There's also Ravi Shankar Prasad, Dharmendra Pradhan, and also Prakash Nadda. There are other members of the Congress Party like Narayan Rathwa, Ami Yagnik from Shiv Sena. There's Anil Desai from NCP. There's Vandana Chavan, and also important members from Trinamool Congress like Nadimul Haq. So certainly the House is expected to function today so that these members can take oath. And more importantly, the other important bills are also pending in the Rajya Sabha, like the State Bank of India Repeal and Amendment Bill, like the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill, the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill. So certainly a very heavy legislative agenda, but we've seen continuous disruptions have stalled the proceedings of the House. Aishwarya?
Absolutely. A very heavy legislative agenda is due, and also, Kriti, there are several key issues that need to be discussed. Of course, the issue of banking irregularities that has been pending in both the houses. And there are other issues as well, and half of them have not even been taken up due to daily disruptions.
Well, that's right, Aishwarya. You saw how the upper house could not discuss Union Budget 2018-19, but since it was a money bill and the stipulated period of 14 days lapsed to return the bill to the Lok Sabha, so the House could not discuss this bill, and the bill was deemed to be passed. So, of course, there are other important bills. The government has been reiterating that there are important bills that are pending in the Rajya Sabha, like the Anti-Triple Talaq Bill, the OBC bill, the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill, and the government has repeatedly said that it is ready to discuss all the issues. The chairman government has made a concerted effort to break the logjam. In fact, the opposition parties have also reiterated that they're ready to discuss the issues, but of course the logjam has persisted, leading to the adjournment of the proceedings of the House time and again. Aishwarya?
Right, Kriti. Thank you so much for all those updates there from Parliament. On to the legislative business, and Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move the State Bank's Repeal and Amendment Bill 2017 in the Rajya Sabha. The bill seeks to repeal the State Bank of India Subsidiary Banks Act 1959, the State Bank of Hyderabad Act 1956 and amend the State Bank of India Act 1955. It also aims to make rational use of the resources made available by the merger of these banks, leading to a reduction in costs and increase in bank profits. The Lok Sabha has passed the bill. And Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari will move the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill 2017 in the upper house. The bill amends the Motor Vehicles Act 1988 to address issues such as the third-party insurance, regulation of taxi aggregators and road safety. The bill is important due to radical changes in the law, which is as old as 30 years. It proposes high penalties for various traffic offences, 3-year jail for the parents of minors or drivers causing fatal accidents, and a 10-fold increase in the compensation for families of accident victims. And also in the Rajya Sabha, Jitendra Singh will move the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill 2013. This bill seeks to amend the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. The bill makes specific provisions related to giving a bribe to a public servant and giving a bribe by a commercial organization. The bill modifies the definitions and penalties for offences related to taking a bribe, being a habitual offender and also abetting an offence. Powers and procedures for the attachment and the forfeiture of the property of the public servants who've been accused of corruption have also been introduced in this bill. And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move the Fugitive Economic Offenders Bill 2018 in the Lok Sabha today. The bill provides for measures to deter fugitive economic offenders from evading the process of law in India, and the aim of the bill is to tighten the noose on economic offenders and defaulters who flee India. The bill will empower the government to confiscate any property owned by such a person in India. The proposed law will be applicable in cases where the value of offences is over 100 crore rupees. The bill also aims to help banks and other financial institutions to achieve higher recovery from financial defaults committed by such fugitive economic offenders. And also in the Lok Sabha today, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move the Chit Funds Amendment Bill 2018 in the lower house. The bill seeks to further amend the Chit Funds Act 1982. The bill seeks to use the words fraternity fund under the 1982 Act for a chit business. This seeks to distinguish it from prize chits, which are banned under a separate law. Currently, the Act does not apply to any chit started before it was enacted and any chit where the amount is less than 100 rupees. The bill removes the limit of 100 rupees and allows the state governments to specify the base amount over which the provisions of the Act will apply. And some of the other bills in the Lok Sabha include HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar will move the National Council for Teacher Education Amendment Bill 2017. This bill seeks to amend the National Council for Teacher Education Act 1993. JP Nadda will move the National Medical Commission Bill 2017 in the lower house. The bill seeks to provide for a medical education system that ensures availability of adequate and high-quality medical professionals in the country. Last week, the Union Cabinet had approved amendments to the NMC bill, including removing the contentious provision of a bridge course, which would have allowed the practitioners of alternative medicines to pursue allopathy. The amendments also include approval to the final MBBS examination to be held as a common exam throughout the country. This exam would also serve as the exit test for candidates to get a license. And 5 bills will be introduced in the Lok Sabha. Maneka Gandhi will move the Trafficking of Persons Prevention, Protection and Rehabilitation Bill 2018. This bill aims to prevent trafficking of persons, especially women and children, and provides for the care, protection and rehabilitation to the victims and prosecutes offenders. Arun Jaitley will move the Banning of Unregulated Deposit Schemes Bill 2018. The bill provides for a comprehensive mechanism to ban the unregulated deposit schemes and protects the interest of depositors. Suresh Prabhu will introduce the Airports Economic Regulatory Authority of India Amendment Bill 2018. The bill amends the Airports Economic Regulatory Authority of India Act 2008. Ravi Shankar Prasad will introduce the Commercial Courts, Commercial Division and Commercial Appellate Division of High Courts Amendment Bill 2018 and the Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Bill 2018. And that's it in this edition of Today in Parliament. Do stay tuned. The proceedings of the Upper House are going to begin in a short while from now. Thanks for watching.